Yo guys, welcome back to another video. Today's video is up close and personal, which I find really hard because I'm literally looking straight at a camera and would much prefer to be speaking to all of you. But I'm going to try my best to talk to you guys on here because I want to touch on a topic that is nowhere near spoken about enough, which is depression. I feel like it's really suppressed in social media, and I don't know why it is, because it is such a big subject that needs to be spoken on because it can help so many more people, including myself. Before we do get into this video, I do just want to say I'm going to be speaking about from my own experiences and how I dealt with depression. I'm not looking for any sympathy. I actually don't like sympathy at all. So if you guys don't mind not trying to feel sorry for me, because I don't like that stuff. It really irritates me. Sorry if that sounds rude, but it's just not my thing. I also understand that this video might not be for everyone. So if it isn't for you, I'm not making you stay here. I'm mainly just doing it for people who have felt in the same situation as me, or who are in the same situation as I've been in right now, or if you know any friends or family who are depressed and you want to help them out. I'm not saying everything's going to help from this video. I'm not saying anything's going to help from this video. But yeah, so I'm going to go way back to where it all began for me when I was about 15, 16. I don't have complete dates on everything that happened because at the beginning I never really felt as it was that big of a deal, because I never realised it would lead me to be depressed. But so when I was about 15, 16, I started to randomly feel down a lot of the time, and I didn't really have a reason to why I did, and I never really understood that. So I never thought it was that big of a big deal, and I never spoke up about it because I didn't want people thinking I was attention seeking or looking for any sympathy. So I kind of just kept it to myself, randomly felt down at the time, and as time went on it made it feel a lot worse because all I could think was, why do I randomly feel like this all the time? And it actually got to a point where it was like a year past and it built up so much to me where I finally reached out to a friend, which I wish I'd done earlier, but I finally reached out to a friend and I completely broke down to him. I opened up about how I was feeling, and I told him that I didn't know why I was feeling like this, but it felt so nice just to get it all off my chest and just let everything out, because where it was playing so much in my mind, it made me feel 100 times worse, and it was kind of like a little mini reset. It might have only been a short-term happiness that I got from going on walks with him, but as long as I got that, it made me feel so much better. So I do recommend, if you guys can open up to anyone, try your best to do it, because it is so overwhelming how nice it feels at the time. Lucky enough for me, my friend was really supportive, and I went on multiple walks with him a week and just completely opened up to him and broke down to him many times too. And it just kind of got everything off my chest. It felt really nice. So I do recommend, if you guys can, try and open up to someone. If it's not your family, your friend. And if it's not your friend, just try and open up to someone. Maybe if you don't know them. Some people find it easier to open up to someone they don't know because it's much easier and they don't feel any pressure from people that they know. But yeah, so me going on walks with my mates every week really helped me, but I always knew that this was just like a bit of a short-term happiness for me, which is what I needed, completely what I needed, and I can't thank my mate enough for that. But if I wanted to get a lot better, I knew I needed a long-term solution, and I didn't know how to do that, as I never knew what actually properly affected me. Yes, I might have had little things in my life that made me feel a bit rubbish, that gave me anxiety, for instance. I hated when I was younger going out in the street and getting recognised by the, people who knew me and I didn't know them, because it actually scared me. I sometimes got followed around town. I'm not saying this has led to why I was depressed. It's actually probably nothing to do with why I was depressed. But obviously I had little things going on in my life, but I never had a main reason to why I felt depressed. I had a really good relationship with my family, I had really good mates, and I always felt I had no reason to feel depressed, which angered me so much more to where I would take out on myself and make things a lot worse. Probably about 6 months later, I opened up to many more people, as it felt really nice to do it, and it felt nice that some of my mates knew what I was going through and some of them could help me. And I was like nearly 18 here. I was probably like mid 17s, late 17, and I went out with my mates on a night out, as you do when you're normally 17. I'm sorry, most people do this. And I got a little bit too drunk for my own liking. I got home that night and I completely broke down. Like, I mean, it was one of the lowest that I've ever felt in my life. And where I was crying, I was making such loud noises where I couldn't hold it in. And I woke up my whole family. My whole family came down to see if I was alright. And obviously I wasn't alright. And I never really opened up to them properly, so it was a massive shock to them. And the next morning I felt really embarrassed, but then obviously my family came in, made me feel like I shouldn't be embarrassed. And it was a lot nicer. As soon as my family knew about how I was feeling, it felt a million times nicer. But still I continue to feel rubbish even with loads of people's help, and I realise like it's more of a me thing that I need to deal with. But where I just always thought that I always put loads of pressure on myself, which made me so tired. I could not get out of bed like most mornings. I would just lay on my bed all day, order takeaways and just roll on with life, just because I was so exhausted from just overthinking everything, which is why I love getting stuff off my chest now. If something's bothering me, I would say it. But yeah, I was literally bedbound from just overthinking. I still didn't know how to deal with it for many months until I turned 18, and I decided to go on antidepressants. And I just want to make it very clear to everyone that I'm not pushing out antidepressants to everyone. I'm not saying you shouldn't have antidepressants. They're completely your own choice, and I would try and speak to whoever you're living with, if you're living with anyone at a time or anyone close to you, about it before you do just rush to have them, because there's a lot of positives and negatives about them, in my own opinion. Once again, everyone, this is my own opinion on how I dealt with my own experience. So yeah, I decided to go on antidepressants when I finally turned 18, and at the beginning it was the best choice of my life. I loved it. It made me feel so numb to how rubbish I felt, but as time went on, probably 2-3 months later, I realised how numb it also made me to feel happy. I didn't really have those really excited, happy moments, and I really missed them. At the beginning, I was so willing to take that risk because I needed to stop feeling so sad so I could try and get on with my life. But then as time went on, so about 6 months in, I decided to come off my antidepressants because it really did make me feel numb to most of my feelings. I wanted to feel everything again. It felt really nice for me to feel everything. I had a lot of time to think over like the 5 months of me being on them and being in lockdown, and I put on loads of weight which I wanted to get rid of, but I just didn't really have the motivation. So I thought if I decided to come off them, it might give me a boost. So yeah, I finally decided to come off them, and I'm not gonna lie to you, it was still very hard. I did have those really down days. By then I actually met a girl as well who was really helpful. She was amazing to me. Her name's Imogen, as many of you guys do know her. She's now my girlfriend, and she was really helpful and made me feel much better all the time. But still, sometimes I did feel so down, and I couldn't even explain to her why I did. But yeah, so I was back to the bit where I was having a lot of down days and I didn't really know why. Because once again, everything around me looked amazing. But to me, something just wasn't right. I didn't feel great. And months went on, and I tried to find different ways to make me feel better. And I feel like where I was trying so hard, I kind of just started trying to live a new lifestyle. I tried to get up earlier, which honestly made such a big difference. I never realised. I was waking up at like 3 PM and my family have been trying to get me up since probably 10 AM. And I just decided to really try and focus on one thing at a time. So at the beginning I focused on me just trying to eat healthier. I tried to cut out a lot more of my takeaways. I still had them some days, but I just tried to eventually eat healthier, and then I decided to try and work out some days. And slowly but surely I started trying to add one more thing, but not putting any pressure on myself to do those things. If I felt down, I felt down. I'd give myself a day. If I needed a week, I'd give myself a week. But I'd make sure I will try my hardest to get out and do things. So slowly but surely I started building one thing up. And then I decided to try and wake up a bit earlier. So I decided to try to wake up at 10. And it felt good. Right now I'm waking up at 7 AM, which I never thought I'd ever do. And I can't tell you how much me waking up earlier has made me feel, because I wake up and there's so much more to do in the day. I don't feel like I've lost a day. Whereas when I used to be depressed, I would wake up at 3 PM. I didn't even really see much of sunlight, which was really damaging to me, which I didn't realise it was either. I actually really liked being up at night. But yeah, to me that was actually really damaging, and now where I wake up earlier, it feels much better. And I know some of this doesn't really make much sense. I'm sorry about that, because I find it really hard to get across some of my points and how I dealt with it. Because most of the time I didn't even really know what was going on. I was just trying my hardest to feel good. But the point of me doing this video is literally because I want to get across that there are so many people with you on this, and that you're not alone in feeling really unhappy or depressed. For instance, I'm doing this video to help out anyone who has felt the way I did. And no, I'm not doing it for sympathy for other people. I'm doing it purely because I really do want to help you guys, because I'd hope that one day you'll feel as good as I do now. I may have only felt like this for 2 months, but I feel amazing right now, hence why I'm making this video, to hope that other people can. There's also therapists out there which are amazing. I can't thank people who do therapy enough. Personally, I've never even had therapy, but I know many people who have, are my mates, who said it's amazing and the people are so genuine. So if you feel like you need to get a therapist, I'm definitely not stopping you. I think that's a great idea if you do feel really down and you want to open up and you feel it's really hard. There's also many other ways that you can get help. I'm going to put a few things in my little description box below my video of ways you can get help. But thanks guys for watching this video. I do just want to say one last time, please, if you do feel really unhappy or depressed, try and reach out to someone. If you already have reached out to someone, have a look in my description of this video, and there'll be many other ways that can try and help you to feel a lot less unhappy. And just try your hardest. Please do try your hardest. I can't urge you guys enough to try your hardest. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, please do leave it a big thumbs up, to hope that this video can go out to more people who also have been in the same situation as me, or you, I don't know. And I'll see you next time. Peace.